Hi, I'm Rob,
And I'm Ashley.
and this is Life Rewired. Today is in March sometime, whenever this airs, and this is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and we're also talking about brain injury prevention. Ashley, I'm going to throw it to you so I can get my composure. Go ahead.
That's okay. So, it is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and part of Brain Injury Awareness Month is, educating people about, what brain injuries are, what cause brain injuries. I'm one of the 15% of people who live with concussion symptoms longer than the year time frame, so I'm part of the post concussion syndrome club. Rob has a mild to moderate brain injury. I'll let him label himself later. But a part that I think a lot of people miss out on with Brain Injury Awareness Month is like what to do to prevent brain injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it's getting caught up in like the statistics and looking out for symptoms and stuff. So definitely wanted to talk about that today because causes of brain injuries, cover a lot of different areas such as, accidents, falls, sports. So in terms of how we can prevent brain injuries, not that it's all preventable. I mean, we've had people we've interviewed that have been in car accidents, and unfortunately, there were situations where those weren't preventable. But,
Right.
there are scenarios like my case that could have been, preventable. So, Rob, I'll turn it back over to you for a bit.
Okay. Yeah, let's just talk briefly about your case because um, you don't think about things like what happened to you because you fell in the bathroom. And remind me, that was because of the medication that you were on because of.
So, it was the middle of the night, so I decided not to turn on the light. Um, there was a scale that I had moved into that bathroom that wasn't originally there. So, um, kind of, environmental hazard. And then I was also on medication due to being rear ended like a couple months beforehand. And I was dealing with like physical therapy and
Mm,
back pain. And unfortunately, muscle relaxants make you a little, unbalanced. So those
right.
combination of factors, I don't know if I could have changed the whole medication thing, but I think I definitely could have just sucked it up and turned on the light because then I think I would have saw the scale and
Mm-hmm.
not tripped over it. But that was the decision I made that night. So
Yeah. And it's just things that we all do this. I mean, we all, how many times have I gotten up in the middle of the night and just went to the restroom and I don't turn the light on either. So, I mean, it's very easily to forget that you've moved something new or whatever. So it just the extra effort to do something to prevent a fall.
mhm.
Even getting in the car. I mean, it's the law to buckle up, but there are still people out there that don't buckle up.
Mhm.
And you might be in a small accident. I mean, if you get into a major pileup, the seatbelt may or may not help you. But if someone rear ends you or whatever, that seatbelt's going to protect you.
Mhm.
And then also using common sense too sometimes as well. I mean, people drink and there's no problem with that, but don't drink and drive.
Yeah, definitely. And then texting and driving is still a big thing too. A lot of accidents happen that way. So
Hmm.
do not text and drive. Yeah.
Right. And then just always know your surroundings. Accidents happen. You cannot prevent every accident. But if you just take the extra moment to look around and say, okay, this is the situation, you might not step on that nail that causes you to fall, causes you to hit your head. Or if say you're doing construction and wear your helmet so when you stand up and forget that beam was above your head, you don't bang your head. So it's just some of it is just the safety precautions, but a lot of it is also just knowing your surroundings.
And then for sports, if it's a sport where you're able to wear a helmet, definitely wear a helmet. If it's a sport where you're not able to, wear a helmet, just following all the safety precautions that your coaches give you to try to prevent a brain injury.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you cannot prevent everything.
Mm-hmm.
Say if you're involved in an abusive relationship and someone beats the crap out of you, I mean, that's not something you can prevent. Um, Maybe get out of the relationship, but that's a whole different show we can talk about there. And then
Right.
also use. I mean, we talked about this briefly off camera, but uh, how many people abuse their kids without realizing what they're doing? The shaken baby thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they
Yeah.
tell you, they preach to you, don't do that, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't realize that new baby with that they got that soft spot. And I watched a show today, and I found out what that soft spot was called, and I've already forgotten it.
Mm-hmm.
But just that a small shake can
Mm-hmm.
cause brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I joked off camera. I told Ashley, I said, "Shake yourself," but
Mm,
but still, you got to use your common sense. Common sense will get you a lot farther than just going off the edge.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's before we close. I've been trying to practice a lot actually while you were gone about how to close the program because I always forget. But I'm not going to take that away from you. But I do want to point people out to please visit myliferewired.com. There's a section on there that says contact us. If you click that and put in your information, and because if you want to be on the show or if you have any comments or suggestions, put that in there as well, and we will schedule a time for you to be a guest on the program. This
Absolutely.
program is all about the survivors, and if you have a story that could help other survivors, we want to hear about it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let me throw it over to Ashley.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share uh, from the Life Rewired podcast. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Rob. See you guys next time.
Have a great day.